Alright. Okay.
I'm Amy Bacharach. I'm running for re-election to the Community College Board. Thanks so much for having me today. I'm running for re-election. You know, you may remember one of the reasons I'm pretty passionate about higher education is because I'm a living, breathing example of the opportunities that higher education can give to people. I went from high school dropout to PhD in less than 20 years. I come from a background and family where college was certainly not expected of me. There was very little expected of me. We had a lot of other things going on in the family. I was been pretty much on my own since I was about 14. But I made it somehow, miraculously, and now I strive to really help other people have the same opportunities that I had. So in that vein, I became a policy researcher for the state of California for the Judicial Council. I do policy research, and my background's in the areas of juvenile delinquency, collaborative justice, and human trafficking. I'm an expert in those areas. And I really live my life and make all of my decisions by evidence-based practices, data analysis, really kind of doing deep dives into things. You know, Chanel, we talked about doing deep dives into budgets, and we do actually do that, which, you know, I'm glad that she brought that up. So that's really the expertise I bring to the board. I also spent about 7 years as an adjunct professor, so I have that faculty perspective as well. Coming into this, one of the reasons that I ran the first time, one of my goals was to see that City College had a seat at the table. In the past, San Francisco and the school district had always had this committee, and I always felt like, well, why doesn't City College have a seat at that? I kind of come from the thinking that, you know, if you're not at the table, you're probably on the menu. So when I first got elected, one of the very first things I did was push to have that joint committee that Chanel mentioned reinstated. That was under my leadership, and I became co-chair of that, which I'm really proud of. And we have lots of goals. Some of them are to increase dual enrollment programs and ease the transition from high school to college. One of you mentioned the fact that we now have our high school counselors telling people, yeah, go to community college, just don't go to City College. That's a huge, huge problem, and that's a lot of work that we have to do, but I'm really optimistic that we can do it. The other things that I'm really proud of doing in the last 2 years is sponsoring resolutions to reform Prop 13, as well as to support gun safety measures, and as well as to support Assemblyman David Chu's AB 2822, which will provide emergency financial aid to students in crisis so they don't have to drop out of school. Going forward, one of my goals has always been to create an alumni association. There's an estimated 1 in 7 or 8 people in San Francisco have been impacted by City College, and there's so much opportunity out in the community for funding, for internships, for mentorships, for, you know, opportunities for our students. I'm really hoping to expand apprenticeship programs and other programs that are similar. I've been endorsed by the Building Construction Trades, and I've talked with them about expanding some of these. You know, when I was in school in Philadelphia, we had a program whereby students would do half of their time at some vocational program off-site and the other half at school. And then when they graduated high school, they got their diploma as well as a certificate, and they had, you know, jobs waiting for them. Of course, back then, you know, you can have a really good paying union job with, you know, just the certificate and a high school diploma. I think that we can get back there, and I would like to see programs like that expanded, and those are some of the things that I'm working on. The other thing I'm working on, which really kind of merges my day job with the judicial branch with my night job, I guess you can say, with City College, is there's this amazing collaborative court in LA. It's the first of its kind in the country. It's called Court to College, and it's a collaborative court program that essentially sentences low-level, nonviolent 18 to 25-year-olds to community college. So I'm trying to model that here. I've been working on that, and as well as a number of other things, including supporting the Free City movement. I was actually a big supporter when Obama first came out with the idea of free community college. I started working on that, and then when it came out in San Francisco that we were going to be moving forward with that, I was really excited. I've written an op-ed about that. It's unfortunately not yet to be published, but I did write that, and I'm going to be following up with a couple of newspapers. And I guess with that, I'm happy to answer questions.